Your daily horoscope, the 11th of December 2016. Daily horoscope for Aries. Ruling planets: Mars, Pluto. If you are involved in a creative enterprise, you could feel blocked today. By continuing to push, you'll only create further blockages. Leave it alone and come back refreshed. If there are unsettled feelings in your relationship, talk about what is on your mind. You mustn't indulge any negativity today. You have the ability to look keenly into another person's motivations at present. Trust your own instincts, even if the person tells you otherwise. There is safety in numbers today, so you don't need to put your neck on the chopping block. Seek wise counsel before acting and share that knowledge with your peer group before acting alone. Believe it or not, you may actually solve some problems without even thinking about those very problems. Relaxation is your key word, and if you can get into this calm state, you'll be surprised at what interesting solutions will arise. Daily horoscope for Taurus. Ruling planets: Venus. It's best now to hide your skills and talents, as others may be waiting for the appropriate moment to cut you down. If you don't show your strength, then people are caught off guard, and this is precisely the strategy you need now if you are surrounded by people, some of whom you don't necessarily trust. Competition is strong and you need to keep your wits about you. It's time for reflection now, and you can only do that if you disconnect yourself for a while from the usual circle of friends and family. It's only in the quiet solitude of your own self that brilliant insights will be revealed regarding what is about to happen next. Horoscope for Gemini. Ruling planets: Mercury. If you can lift the veils that surround you and see others for who they really are, you will be able to sidestep a deceptive emotional experience. Technology may be difficult to grasp, especially if you are having problems right now. You need to educate yourself in these areas to become more of an expert. A turbulent period in your relationships is likely now, as passion dominates your personal landscape. Unless you understand the needs of the other person, their life objectives, and what motivates them emotionally, you're going to be negotiating for the wrong things. The relationship has to be a win-win situation, and right now you may be completely oblivious what the other person's motives are. It's an opportunity for you to ask questions and to see exactly what it is you can do to fulfill their needs. Daily horoscope for Cancer. Ruling planets: Moon. Don't take decisions or move in any new direction without consultation now, as you're likely to be accused of doing things in contradiction of others' desires and out of a sense of ego. At least if you consult with others, they will be partly responsible for any sort of outcome. This is simply the best and most diplomatic course of action now. Upsetting dreams or nightmares may cause sleepless nights, and this is because of your unresolved daytime activities, especially at work. Be careful in dealings with others who, through some unusual influence, may try to deceive or drain you of your vitality and energy. Trying conditions or events can make this a sorrowful time, bringing you in touch with individuals who may be terribly ill and who may draw upon your impressionable and supersensitive sympathies. Daily horoscope for Leo. Ruling planets: Sun. You want the comfort of your partner or a good relationship now if you don't happen to be in one, but you may also be confused about exactly what it is you want and how you're going to go about it. Wrong choices are the biggest problem, and rather than rushing a relationship, you should take your time and ask the correct questions. Right now, you may not be in a clear enough state of mind to make those good choices. Wait. A loved one's plans may conflict with your own idea of what is a better fit for your schedule. Take a few moments to clarify what both of you expect today before making arrangements without the other's knowledge. You can compromise with a good outcome. You may play a leadership role in a group or organization that you are affiliated with, or take some initiative in a situation. You are fired up about your ideals and can stir others to action. Team sports and group efforts of any kind appeal to you now. Daily horoscope for Virgo. Ruling planets, Mercury. If you are in sales, you have some fine prospects on your books, but you need to follow them up and not make excuses for letting good financial opportunities slip by. The full moon today brings to light issues regarding your material and financial welfare. You'll have to work a little harder to make things happen, but your goals are now becoming clearer. Right now you may experience mental strain due to a pressing need to make important decisions and commitments. Financial pressure is probable and you may have to adjust to new realities. This may be a time of change in residence or employment. This may be a busy and exciting time in your social life. Interaction with unusual persons or involvement with groups is likely. Surprising reversals may improve things. Experiment, break out of rigidities and become free. Be yourself. Daily horoscope for Libra. Ruling planets, Venus. Your mind is active and clear now, and communications are successful, but only if you are diplomatic and prepared to listen to other people's side of the story. You are as usual critical and not particularly trusting at the moment. Expect messages, frequent calls and short trips in abundance, so manage your diary a little more carefully under these transits. You may be very active now for practical purposes. Adjustments in schedule require calls and transport rearrangements. You may have a change of heart on some philosophical position you held dear for a long time. If you're dominated by the cultural perception of what determines a good partner in life, you may miss the love boat permanently. Operating from the heart and making decisions based purely on your own inner experience of what is right or wrong in a relationship is imperative now if you are to fulfill yourself emotionally. Daily horoscope for Scorpio. Ruling planets, Pluto, Mars. If you are comparing your current partner to previous ones, you're on a slippery slope, Scorpio. Try to accept your friends and lovers for who they are. It's time to embrace change professionally, and you mustn't be nervous about it. You can use dramatic flair and elements of power and control rather than a pleasing personality to get what you want. You can be successful if you're starting a business. Make sure you have your plan in order and you've had all the relevant consultations to make this a smooth process. You need to exchange your thinking with someone who has a lot of social and cultural activities. If you're stuck in a rut with your same peer group, this is going to be very frustrating. Daily horoscope for Sagittarius. Ruling planets, Jupiter, Neptune. At this time you feel tied down to work issues, and this may not be at all comfortable, especially if your heart is not on the task at hand. You probably have an opportunity to improve your life circumstances generally, but most of this will hinge on workplace relationships and arrangements. This is a favorable time for travel, for educational matters and for speculation and investment, and you should, by all means, monitor your health, especially if you're not feeling particularly on top of it all. Do favors for free, but put your brand on them, so people remember where they came from. Carefully managing your intellectual property now is an expression of your self-respect and what you feel you are worth. Don't use the hard sell, just make yourself available and interesting. Plant the seeds of desire so that they grow from within, and when others praise you it will be their own idea. A small nudge at the right spot can start an avalanche, so look for just the right place, person, and then apply leverage. Daily horoscope for Capricorn. Ruling planets, Saturn, Uranus. This is a natural time to think out problems of a domestic nature. Your family affairs grab most of your attention now. You are beginning to focus more directly on what your life direction should be. This is a good time to develop or even initiate new policies, phases or programs in career or in matters dealing with the public. Your reputation is important now, too. Try to be honorable in the way you handle things. 110% is your starting point with any project on your desk right now, and that's how you must approach your relationships as well. Full commitment and nothing less is what is needed, especially if you're rethinking your relationships at this point. Your thinking could be influenced by someone. You may need to keep their advice to yourself for a while, though. Daily horoscope for Aquarius. Ruling planets, Uranus, Saturn. If you can't let your hair down now, during this Christmas month, when pray tell, will you? It's time for you to step out on the limb of social and cultural uncertainty and boldly go where no man has gone before. This is your chance to do things you've dreamt of but never thought you had the courage to actually follow through with. Discover the wilder side of who you are this Christmas. Family isn't always blood-related, and that can be seen everywhere in life, particularly when people form bonds with absolute strangers. The karmic implications are strong now, and it may be exactly this spiritual connectivity that stands supreme to any other relationships you may have. You should nurture those relationships which give you a sense of intimacy and belonging. Unfortunately, you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends and those who are spiritual kin. Daily horoscope for Pisces. Ruling planets, Neptune, Jupiter. Upsetting news from afar possible, and again you may find yourself frustrated by not being able to do anything practical for those in need. Some of you may have a desire to travel and find a safe haven away from your usual environment. This could give you the chance to rejuvenate your spiritual self. If you're in a position where you manage people, you need to be detailed in the way you supervise them. If you don't, you'll be the one who will have the finger of blame pointed at you. You'll need to become a little more hip and conversant with younger people, even if only to keep up with what's going on in their world. This is hard if you used to your own ways. Open your mind a little more today.